Hi, and welcome to Ketchikan Public Library's Do-It-Yourself with Gayle. So, I've been hanging around the house a lot, just like you, and noticed that a lot of my furniture needed some help, some pick-me-ups. And I'm also a garage sailor, and I love the secondhand store, and I'll pick up pieces of furniture from there and say, oh, I'm gonna, refinish it, do something with it, and sometimes it gets stuck away for a very long time. I was in the store the other day in the craft section thinking that same thing. Let's get some of this furniture covered. I mean, it's looking pretty bad. And I found this stuff called chalk paint. And I've heard of it, but I've never used it. Usually when I thought of chalk paint, it was along with distressing, distressing furniture. I'm not into distressed furniture, but I thought on the back it says zero preparation. For me, preparation was always sanding and all that other stuff. This is zero. Well, it isn't actually zero. You actually have to wipe it down with either vinegar or your window cleaner. Both work just fine. So wipe down your nastiest problem furniture, and I do mean your nastiest. I would like to show you my piece of nasty furniture. Check this out, I'm only showing you half. Now when I purchased this for $5 whole, it wasn't in as bad a shape as it is right now. I will admit I put it out on the deck and forgot it, and when it started to rain, someone threw the barbecue grill cover over it. But it is sunburnt on the top. It was in a child's room, carved on, played on, etc. And I took that paint, and I want you to see this side. No sanding, no nothing, just vinegar wiped down. No, it is not beautiful, perfect 100%, but you tell me, is that awesome or what? And of course, I couldn't resist then, using that paint everywhere because it covered the terrible stuff, which means it could cover stuff that just had little nicks and stuff in it, which was my dresser, which I covered that. And then I had this bookcase over here. This is one of those black ones from Walmart. I popped the back off and put on some pretty paper. You could use flowers or something. In this case, I used little monsters. I'll be popping that back on. There's little nails that came out, and I'll be putting that back on. But now it's a beautiful teal instead of black, and my grandchildren have already seen it and they think it's amazing. And then if you follow me over here, this is one of the dresser drawers that I did, and I will tell you it was pretty chipped up, and you can still see through here. There's a little bit of stuff, but it really doesn't show a heck of a lot. And I thought on these it would be fun to do like stencils. Now I'm not going to show you, I'm not going to do it here, I'm just going to show you how to. You would need to tape this down securely, and then I highly recommend these. These are amazing. When you're doing stenciling, you have to go dab, 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 because you do not want the paint to get underneath of there. It will leave a little mess. So only a light amount on your little dabber, and then just dab, 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 dab. And you'll go all around there and only put out the pieces that you want that color. And I just thought that would be really pretty on the front of there. There's all sorts of different stencils you can use. Now, that bookcase that I showed you, I'd like to show you how to do that by using this. This has a piece that pulls out also, just like on the back of the bookcase. So I'm just gonna pop that out of there, okay? Whoops. A little high on my table. I already cut my piece of paper, and all I'm going to do is use Elmer's glue all, and I want it saturated. I mean, really put on there, and then I want you to rub it around and make sure you get every bit of it. And then lay your paper, and I cut mine a little bit big just because I didn't want to have to move it later. And press, press, press. And once you're done pressing it on, turn it over and set it over here with a book on it to let that glue dry. And then you can move on to the paint fun. Now the chalk paint is quite thick. And for the desk, I used a very watered down first layer to get into all of those cracks and crevices. See how thick that is? I mean, it is really thick. Okay, so I'm going to put a small amount in my bowl. And I'm going to add some water to it. And I sort of want it to look like Mrs. Butterworth's syrup. Not runny. We still want it a little on the thick side. And you can use your paintbrush to mix that up in, especially if you have a nice bowl like this one. Okay, so that's still a little bit thick. I want it just a touch thinner. And then on your second coat, it does take 2 coats, but I will tell you this stuff dries within 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and you can put your second coat on, and it does have a sealer that you need to put over the top of it, okay? I'm putting that down so I don't hit myself, okay? And I mean, it covers beautifully. You can see through this first layer, but by the time you put the second one on, you won't see a thing. And this, I decided to do red because I thought it brought out the little red monsters, and I have a little grandson that really likes the reds. Okay, so you see it goes on very nicely, super easy. It's very, very forgiving. So if you make a mess, don't worry about it, go back over it. I will tell you, it dries very quickly, so if you are doing the top of a dresser, be quick, okay? And as it starts to dry, you can drag your brush over it and actually distress it prior to any rubbing off or sanding later if you want to do that distressing. And please remember, at the library, we have lots of books on painting and doing this sort of thing. And we are open for curbside services right now. You can call in or place things on hold and pick them up the next day at the library. So if you want to learn how to do something like this and want the book, there you go, you can get the book. Okay, I'm not going to do this whole thing because I just want to give you the idea. And then I'm going to pop that in the front so you can see what I'm going for here. See, I think it's going to be adorable. And I know I have 4 little grandsons that will be over next weekend going, oh my gosh, Grandma, that's so cool. All right. And I will be finishing up this desk because it just looks so pretty. I think that some kid will enjoy it. I hope you learned something about chalk paint from this. We'll get together again soon. Mask on. Take care.